Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we got topics to go through just like usual, and we're going for that 100 like target again. So if you could smash that, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much guys, let's get into it. Ben Jacobs reporting saying Chelsea's second offer for Wesley Fofana of over 70 million, as reported yesterday, has now been turned down. No surprise, big third offer being prepared, Chelsea not giving up. Brendan Rodgers says he's calm about the situation and has spoken to Fofana multiple times. Chelsea confident. So let's unpack it a little bit. Second offer of 70 million, we reported that has gone in, and it says has now been turned down. Obviously that was, there was a good day or so between those two reports, so Leicester took their time on that one. That's what we can take from that, but they did decline it. So it shows maybe signs that, they thought about it. 70 mil, is that what we're going to accept, or do we really think Chelsea are going to go back in for more? Given the wide reports that Chelsea basically aren't going to give up on him, they'd be silly to accept it. So it says a big third offer is being prepared. Now I imagine that'll be something along the lines of 85. I think Chelsea are going to bump it up a good chunk more and say, okay, we've gone up in like sort of 10s or so. Let's add a 15, really test him. 85, if we pay anything, to be honest, I think even where we're currently at, about 70 million, is overpaying for someone like Wesley Fofana. That isn't to say that I don't think he is a brilliant footballer that should come good and be one of the top Premier League defenders in years to come. He's only 21, I believe he is. But we are overpaying, right? He's going to be the most expensive defender. He very well may break the record fee. But it does say Chelsea not giving up. Brendan Rodgers is calm about the situation and has spoken to Fofana multiple times. All the reports that we're hearing are saying that Fofana wants to leave. So that's, he can say he's calm all he wants, but that is clearly just a face that they're putting on because it's a negotiation tactic. Moving on though, this you can see here has come from Fabrizio Romano. This is just another little bit addition I wanted to get from this piece, saying that the player would be 100% keen on the move. So here we have, Brendan Rodgers has spoken to Fofana, like maybe implying that nothing's going to happen. Well, here we have Fabrizio Romano saying the player would be 100% keen on the move. So more signs pointing towards that. And then we still have Simon Phillips saying Chelsea's still confident of finding the agreement. The player is pushing. So there's, a few not necessarily conflicting, but different wordings that maybe we can read into. It says not far from the desired fee, so 80 something is going to be the fee, it does look like. But the player pushing is what Simon Phillips is saying, so obviously implying that Wesley Fofana is basically saying, make this happen, like I want to go this year and be a starter at Chelsea. So big things happening for Chelsea. The transfer window already, if you consider Koulibaly, Sterling, Cucurella as sort of, the main starters, and then you got Chukwuemeka, I can't even remember how to pronounce his name, Slonina, all these young signings that are coming in. This is already like maybe an 8 out of 10 for me, this transfer window. And if we go and get Fofana, maybe Jong, maybe a striker, which we'll talk about next, then good God, this is going to be an absolute 10 out of 10 window. But that's it for this topic. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have a report coming through from the Metro, so take it with a pinch of salt, saying Benjamin Sesko makes decision over Chelsea and Man United transfer. You'll have seen in the past few days, it's one that we've reported on. And it says down here that he's made his decision, and that he is decided that he wishes to stay at Salzburg for the rest of the season despite the interest from Chelsea and Newcastle. It says he wants to stay for another year so that he can make the leap like Erling Haaland. Whether it's going to be, make the leap as in he wants a bigger club, I don't know. If he's looking above Chelsea, then I guess it's going to be players seem to prefer Real Madrid and Barca, that sort of level of club, maybe. Who knows, but he wants to make the leap then and make it a big thing, so we'll see what sort of numbers he can put up this year. On this one, I think he's got the like profile of a good player, but still the numbers aren't quite there. So Chelsea, I don't think this would have been the one to go for this year. He's still a bit raw. We've got someone like that in Armando Broja that we can look to hone in on and, turn into this, world-class striker that we hopefully will get from him. So I'm not too upset to be missing out on him this year. Maybe down the line, Benjamin Sesko will be a Chelsea player, but not this window. Then next up, we have a report coming from Sport out in Spain saying Chelsea offers Marcos Alonso to Barca in the offer for Jong. Now this is translated, so take it with a pinch of salt. The wording might be a little weird, but it says the English club will be willing to pay more than 70 million and the fullback for the Dutchman. If he does not reach an agreement for Frankie, they will let Marcos Alonso go for a direct sale. So this is sort of implying that Chelsea have been trying to say, Alonso plus 70 million to go and get De Jong, which is just a lot of money, but we're looking at offload Alonso anyway, but I'd like that fee to be a little lower. But that's the case there. But then, as you'll see in this next topic, we have on the Marcos Alonso, Tuchel was quoted after the game saying that that's the case, he tries to leave and we agreed this switch, and that's why it would not have made sense to put him on the pitch today. We have Fabrizio Romano saying that basically it's a done deal here, Barca and Chelsea finalising the agreement. Being told the final fee will be less than 10 million euros, so 10 million euros in pounds is 8 million, somewhere around there. And it's going to be less than that, so Chelsea may be getting like 5-6 million out of selling Alonso, which, considering his age, is understandable. We were never going to make much of this, especially selling to a team like Barcelona, who are broke, even though they're spending all this money. So it'll be a sad day. It does look like Alonso's officially gone. If Tuchel's saying it in the presser after the Everton game, then, it's basically, it's sealed, isn't it? So, on Alonso leaving, I will be upset to see him go, but not in the sense of I think we should keep him. I think we've got ample replacement now. We've got Ben Chilwell, Cucurella, Emerson still at the club. We've got these players that can play that position, but Alonso has done scored some very crucial goals for us at Chelsea, so it will be sad to see him go. But it is an interesting one on this, that, we did offer him up for a De Jong deal, and that seems to have not come to fruition, because we're seeing that he's going to Fabrizio Romano in a separate deal for less than 10 million euros. So it looks like we were unsuccessful in that swap deal, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're unsuccessful in the De Jong situation in general, because we've seen the reports that Chelsea have been offering straight cash. So an interesting situation here, but Chelsea, I'm sure, will persist in the pursuit of Frankie De Jong from Barcelona. And then here we have an exclusive report coming from Fabrizio Romano saying Callum Hudson-Odoi could now leave Chelsea for regular game time. Southampton have already asked for Callum on loan, and they're now pushing. He's also discussed with Leicester days ago. It's up to the player. Hudson-Odoi will make his decision on his future in the next days, so by the sounds of it, he's not wanted at the club. If he's making the decision, to me that basically means Chelsea will basically accept anything, whether it's a loan. It doesn't specify whether Leicester want him permanently or on loan, but Chelsea are willing to let him go. And now, I'm really hoping this is all exclusively loan, because if this is a permanent transfer, I'd be sad to let him go. I know he hasn't shown amazing things recently, but before that injury we saw it, and I still think there's that bit of raw, true winger play in him, but he will make his decision in the next few days, so to me that means he's gone, basically. If he's deciding on whether to stay, whether to go, whether it's Leicester, whether it's Southampton, or maybe some other clubs that we don't know about. It's big news, but I could see it happening. We're not going to have a spot for him in this team currently, especially if Chelsea are going to look to buy more attackers. So it's a sad one. I really hope it's on loan, just because I think if he goes out to Southampton or he goes out to Leicester preferably and really lights it up, we would be kicking ourselves for letting him go. So we'll see what happens, but I'm sure we'll get an update in the next few days, as it says here. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, leave a like, hit subscribe and the notification bell. Don't forget about that like target. We'll go for 100 again, and thank you for hitting that button. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.